Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for another edition of Digital Soul Presents. I am honored to have this next brother on. As a brother I met about a year ago, and then that's through our station that I'm doing with DJ Funk Clone Radio. Some of his music appeared on there, and me and this brother connected. He's a super talented musician, producer, and artist, performer, all of the above. Mr. Chris Calzone is in the house. Brother Chris, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. I'm doing good.
So glad to have you here, man. And first off, man, you got a new album that's out, man. It's kicking ass, and you're out there doing your thing. Released a ton of singles off the album, and it's banging. And I've been listening to it, and then secretly you sent me some other tracks that you're working on that I've gotten a chance to kind of hear in advance, and I'm kind of excited about you eventually putting out. Talk about a little bit about this debut album, Let's Rock, man. It's amazing.
Oh, I appreciate that. I am super inspired, by the funk, and I just did everything I could, and I think a lot of people fall into this trap too. I just wanted to do so much, and I just have all these ideas, and I'm trying to get them out, and I think Let's Rock was the best way to do it. Um, as a first as a um, kind of show you what I can do. Um, because I go from different styles. I have things from the straight hardcore funk to ska. And I just love those styles. And so this was my opportunity to kind of say like, here's what I can do. Here's what I like, and I hope you do too. Let's rock. Let's just have some fun.
Heard an interesting approach to this album too. What I noticed was starting last year, you were releasing singles, a bunch of singles throughout the year leading up to 2025, in which eventually a large number of those singles eventually evolved into this album. Talk a little bit about using that technique, which is quite different and a quite different strategy.
Yeah. Oh, well, digital has changed the game. With releasing, and it started with a song. Gosh, I'm blanking on my own song name right now, but it's kind of like a sort of a reggae sort of feel, but it was funk and reggae mixed together, which underneath the cover. That's what it was.
Underneath the cover,
Yeah,
okay.
and and I just felt that had the strongest like poppy sensibility to it, and I just love the song, and I was like, I can't hold it back anymore. What's the best way to put this out to people nowadays? So I did a lot of research, and because for me, releasing the music was more about like getting people to be able to listen to it in a way that they could, because it used to be where you could send somebody a CD, and or a tape or some, even an MP3, you could send it in a way that they could listen to it in whatever they had. Um, and nowadays it's like everyone has a very specific way to listen. So they're like, if it's not in that format, they're not going to even listen. Um, and so, it's about sharing. Music is really a communication, right? It's like,
Absolutely.
I think it was the first language was music. Um, and so how best to get people to be able to listen to it in a way that's not totally inconvenient. I think there's like a fine line there. It's like, how can I share this in a way that makes sense to the song, um, you know, that doesn't take away like, oh, now I got to go download this thing to go open this thing, and so really it was out of convenience, and uh, like releasing singles that way is kind of the new norm. Um, and whereas you used to have a lead-in track and a lead-in single to an album, nowadays you have the ability to really stretch that. And
Yeah.
so I wanted to try to get as many people to be able to listen as possible. And I think that's going to be the strategy moving forward: is release the singles and then package that potentially with like bonus content. Like
Mhm.
I have some re-releases, reissues, remasters of different songs that are on the first album, for example, that I want to bring into a new EP. just give something that people who really enjoy the music are going to really love, so
Yeah,
bonus tracks and reissues are going to be, I think, the most fun part of them.
yeah. Yeah, I know you mentioned the reggae influence and underneath the cover. Also noticed I kind of caught on that you were reggae inspired too, also by the cut Naughty, uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which also has that same feel. And then I like the new joint, the Sky Delight. Now Steve Calzone and Trevor Wilson. Now Calzone, I'm assuming is a relative, right?
That's my dad. Yeah,
That's your dad. Okay,
dad on saxophone.
so
Yeah.
so that's where the influence comes from. Dad is a musician.
So yeah, well, luckily, I was very fortunate to have a studio that we built when I was
Cool.
like 15 years old. Um, it started out with a small little practice Fender amp, which Squire Fender Squire amp that I have, like a I
You,
don't know, like a
you
6 inch.
still have it.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
still have it.
yeah.
It started off with that in an unfinished basement, and they couldn't stand the noise because we ended up getting a drum set too. They were like, "Okay, we got to do something about this." So my dad and I, and with help with my brother, even though he doesn't play any instruments, he begrudgingly helped with the vinyl insulation.
Okay.
But yeah, we built that studio and uh, was able to, like, you know uh, kind of pull it up from there. But yeah, he was definitely helpful in in allowing me to explore creatively sounds anytime, day or night, because they couldn't hear.
Yeah.
They were,
Now the My Sky Delight, is that the first official track that you released with your dad?
yeah, yeah.
How
So
cool is that?
I mean, I released it on Father's Day, and that
Yeah.
was kind of like my ode to thank him. And I do want to shout out too that Trevor Wilson is on this track and playing the trombone, and he's a more recent friend of mine. I've only known him for a couple of years now, but we hooked up in Columbia, here in Columbia, and I just love the way he plays. He's got so much attitude, and and I haven't heard anybody play trombone like him. So when you get to his trombone section, it's just like it's he plays how I imagine that I would want to play trombone, and that's why I was like, we have to do something.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, that's really cool, man. So yeah, the Sky Delight, I noticed that, the reggae and the Sky influence, and then also with Good Thing that has a different approach too. I know that has kind of like a Lindsey Buckingham, Prince Jack You Off kind of thing going on with the beat and everything and the style, which is totally dope too. Talk a little bit about putting that joint together.
Yeah, I was super inspired by rockabilly,
Yeah, yeah.
and like I've always loved that kind of shuffle.
Mm.
Anytime I go to a live jam, I have to have a shuffle song of some. And I've been kind of playing this through at a couple of open jams and just kind of calling out the changes to people, because that's kind of how we do it down here. We open jam and we just call out the changes and we just, you know we're if you're a good musician, or if you pay attention, like, you can pick it up, and just the way that it kind of flowed together was really nice. But I really wanted to make a sad rockabilly song, and so if you listen to the chords in that, um, they're not typical. You have your 1 4 5 kind of progression, but this one has a little something extra, and a little something that's not, it's not quite sad, but it's not your typical, like, I don't know how to describe it, but that's probably why I chose the progression I did with it.
Was guitar the first instrument that you picked up? What was the very first instrument?
You get,
Guitar.
yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be your main instrument that you go to frequently.
I think it's the best for songwriting.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
if I want to make a groove, though, drums. Drums is how it is. If I'm trying to just if I just want to lock into a groove, I'll play the drums first, bass second, sometimes bass first, because You play bass as well, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
You know
yeah,
how it is.
yeah,
When you catch a nice bass groove, it's just like, all right, I gotta do something with this.
yeah, yeah. I seen man, you were getting down. I seen some footage a while back of you doing "Pow" by Larry Graham.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was funky, man. Not too many people know about that joint, man.
Larry Graham is something else, man. And I have to thank Prince for showing me who really, like, man, who's who. Because James Brown, I really would never have checked out James Brown, Fela Kuti, Larry Graham, Shaka Khan,
Wow.
all these people. And so, because that's not, I grew up in kind of the punk rock scene
Yeah,
in Atlanta. That wasn't a thing. Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so me not having that exposure until somewhat recently, kind of changed my out, kind of like changed my out. What's the word? Yeah,
your outlook.
yeah, outlook. Thank
Yeah,
you. Yeah, my
yeah,
outlook on music and life in general.
yeah. Have you reached back to some of those early 70 Graham Central Station albums yet?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's incredible.
yeah,
Uh, I practice probably once a day to try to sing and play the bass like that. It's so hard.
yeah,
Probably
yeah,
once a day I try.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he had like that 74 through like 70 78 period, those albums that he made for Warner's, those the things he was doing with his bass on those albums with even the different sounds and
Mhm.
along with the plucking and the thumping, but he was using some very like some rubbery pedals and things like that to really accentuate his bass playing. That was just totally different for that time.
Yeah, and I really also like his ballads too. I mean, his soulful.
Hmm.
It's like
Hmm.
uh, they was very timely. I think the way that he wrote them was very trending at the time. But I also just really like him. So
Yeah, very, very, very prolific too for his time because underneath all that funk and that stank, man, there was some deep messages he was writing and a lot of that stuff. You really hone in and check out the lyrics. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
he was going through a religious transformation during that period. I had the honor of having Chocolate on my show a
Really.
couple of years ago. So yeah, I got some good stories and backdrops about that time period and their recording and how they met and things like that. It's really, really, really interesting stuff.
Wow. Yeah, you said you've had some great people on this show, so I'm really honored.
Thank you so much, man. And I'm honored too, man. We finally get to do this face to face. Like I said, somewhat, not in person, but we seeing each other.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some ways that digital can be useful,
Hmm.
and in all the harm that it's causing in general, some at least from an industry standpoint, yeah, digital
Yeah.
can be very destructive, but also connects us in a way unlike unlike anything that we've ever had before.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It has us good and bad. You just gotta get your balance in there.
Right, right.
Yeah. Who would you say is some more of your influences? I know we mentioned Larry Graham. As far as like even like the ska and reggae, who are some of those influences that you kind of listen to?
Well, if you listen to ska at all, you know why that track is called "My Ska Delight." Uh, the Scatolites, and it's pronounced the Scatolites, I think, but
Hmm.
they're definitely one of my favorites.
Okay.
Ever since I heard uh, "Bum Da Dum Da Dum Dum," Latin Goes Ska
Okay.
was on uh, a compilation called "Give 'Em the Boot."
Okay.
Volume Two, which is a very like punk ska uh, album that I really got started getting into. I think I was 15 when I first heard it, and I was just blown away that it was this like mixture of Latin music and also sort of like I don't, you know, it was just so much energy, and I just fell in love with the instrumentation and just like the chunk chunk chunk. It didn't even like, you know, the staccato rhythm just got in me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was still somehow there was like a sadness to it too. I don't know what that term is. I keep saying sadness, but it's not sadness.
Melancholy,
It's
maybe?
not even melancholy. It's just
No?
beauty. I think it's just beautiful. Beauty.
Yeah,
The word is
yeah,
beauty. There's like a beauty in it. And I think in a lot of songs, there's an attitude or a beauty. And I think that's like trying to find a balance between the two. That's really what I want to do with my own music is try to find times where I can have an attitude and times where I can have beauty.
yeah. You mentioned that combination. I know exactly what you're talking about. Coincidentally, um, I was listening to Screams of Passion about a couple of days ago
Family.
by the family, and I was just really, of course, I've known the song for the last 40 years, but I just was playing it in my car. And I was listening to it and I was just thinking about how amazingly funky that song is with that big drum sound, but all those pretty clear Fisher strings on top. So that balance of that funk and that beauty with those strings and all that stuff going on top of it is
Exactly.
like perfect. But that stands out because that's like the most recent example of what you're describing that I totally was like, yeah, it's funky, but damn, it's beautiful.
Yes, yes, that's the word. Funky but beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of tunes like that if you really hone in on them, man. Like, man, there's so much going on, but like, listen to all that shit on top, man. It's like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just recently listening to a Prince's version of More Than This by Roxy Music.
Mm,
And there's a thing that Renato Neto does. And he
mm,
and he does it in a couple songs, but I just noticed it's like he takes a chord and then changes it to the major seven when it's not supposed to be.
mm.
So it's just like this thing he does all the time. I don't know if it's all the time, but
Yeah,
I've heard him do it a couple times at the Montreux uh, concerts, and I've seen it. You know, it was definitely in the More Than This. So it's definitely his signature. That's what I think.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, we digress.
Yeah. Speaking of signature sounds, man, you do to my ears, you have a signature sound so far for what I've heard. And I know we got a chance to kind of talk earlier and talk about some of those vintage sounds that, we're constantly chasing or trying to grab or recreate in some kind of form and fashion for a lot of us creators. Talk a little bit about finding those sounds and what sounds attract you to get the Chris Calzone sound.
There is a certain bass sound um, that I found. One of my buddies came over one time, and he was in a Fleetwood Mac tribute band that
Okay.
toured the world, and he had a very specific sound on his bass because it's supposed to have that '70s almost sounds like wood.
Hmm.
No, just like the sound of the bass almost sounds like wood. I don't
Hmm.
know how to describe it, but it's almost like you're when you pluck it, it's almost like
Like it's hitting the back of the base, something
yeah, like it sounds like you're
like it's
hitting.
hitting the body.
Yeah, it's like it's
Yeah,
almost like you're hitting a tree trunk, and
yeah,
I feel the sound like it. I was able to kind of recreate that for that's what I want. If you listen to the bass on that one, it's got this kind of hollow sound to it. And that's just like I don't know what that is, but it just feels so good to hear it. And I think, you know, philosophically, music has to feel good. Like it
yeah.
has to do something. The sound has to do something to you. And also the way you play it has to do something to you. So like the movement, the sound, and the feeling of playing it, you know, they all have to be good
Right.
together, you know, and that's kind of what I chase. Like I don't really chase a trend or like you said, yeah, some of those vintage sounds are completely by accident. Just because maybe that's just how it felt best to
Yeah,
play, you know,
yeah,
and I think you know when you're doing everything through plugins and all that, uh, there's still life you can bring to it. It's just the way that you feel when you do it.
right.
So like, but I have a couple philosophies on my own music, and one of them is to be as as simple as possible. So minimal, maximum to the minimum. I don't know how to say that, but make
You said
something.
balance, right? Balance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Texture uh, to keep it interesting,
Mhm.
because you can play something like you can play the same chord, you know, on a guitar for four measures, but it doesn't sound as good as if the bass played the same chord while the guitar took a break. You know, that syncopation is important.
Yeah,
So that's another. There's a lot of methods. I guess I call it like a recipe.
absolutely. Absolutely. You're throwing in your seasoned salt, your garlic, your paprika, and your cumin and all that stuff. And you put it in a pot or a skillet, fry
Yep.
it up, and then you,
You're still making funk, but it's got
mhm.
its own flavor because of what you add to it and what and kind of the amounts you use. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What do you say inspires you the most, like just in life as far as songwriting? Like, do you get inspired just sitting by yourself, or do you get inspired listening to other music? What do you get inspired by to start your process the most?
um, jamming, I think, has a big
Yeah,
part in it. But honestly, I don't know where it
yeah,
comes
yeah.
from. I it just I think
Just
we
whenever it hits,
yeah, I mean, I think
yeah.
I like to think that I'm just sharpening my tools until inspiration comes. Um, I mean, it's always been like that for me. Like I can fiddle around with like settings and whatnot, but that doesn't inspire me. What usually will inspire me is either teaching something to someone
Hmm.
or or I think we even talked about this, but like right before bed, there's always something that just pops in there, and I don't know where it comes from, uh, and if I don't try to do something with it, I'll pray that I remember it the next day. And if
Yeah,
I do, it's a song because I like to record right now in the mornings before everybody's up, um, and you know after everyone goes to sleep. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it.
I can relate. It's definitely one of those things, man, we have in common, that's for sure. And I found another project online too by you. I want to talk a little bit about that called Bustin' the Groove. I found some really cool tracks on there.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, being one of them, man. Talk a little bit about putting that project together, which is an instrumental project.
yeah, that was a lot of fun. So that there was probably like 10 tracks to that, and they didn't make the cut, but they could be in the bonus material at some point
Okay.
because there was this was I wanted to jam, and I really didn't like the idea. So with the first album, I did singles, right? And there's so many restrictions on like what people want you to release. And I talked to a few people that work for A&R firms and record labels, and they don't want you to release things that are not going to hit, right? They want you want to release things that have the best chance. And I just wanted to groove, you know, and that's I think that's really common. But a big part of who I am as a musician is a live performer, and this was just I these were all one take um, kind of deals. So each track was just a one take. You know, I played the whole way through. I just set a timer in my DAW and just for 12 minutes, and just would go. and see where it takes me. And that's where I was busting groove, because I'm just busting groove, man. Like I'm having fun with it, and I'm trying to feel like something ethereal come out of it too. Um, and yeah, because that first album was all about like, this is who I am, this is what try making more of statements of musical statements. This one is just like, let's just have a little fun.
Heard that. Yeah. Is there anybody that you have under the radar that you would like to work with in the future? Any musicians that you admire that you would like to work with, possibly?
Man, there's a few. There's
Yeah.
quite a few. Yeah, right now there's actually a guy in. Man, I got a list of 100 people, and I've written it down a couple of times,
Okay. Okay.
and I've been really fortunate to play with quite a few of them. But yeah, as far as there's a couple local cats that I'd want to do something with, but I mean, Slapback, Jerry Harris. You've had him on your show. He's
Yeah.
one that I'd love to play with.
Yeah.
Uh,
Jared's amazing.
yeah, he's incredible on the drums. He's got a great bass player.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, of course, I would love to play with the greats, right? Like Larry Graham, who's still around, and Shaka Khan, and
Absolutely.
Sheila. If you're listening, take me.
Take me with you.
Um, yeah, and you know, who else is there? Bootsy, he's up there for me.
Nice. Yeah.
Uh, there's some really great players. There's a good local one, who's another multi instrumentalist who's kind of, he just had a sort of a breakthrough. I'd say a viral moment. He was on America's Got Talent.
Okay.
He's actually from close by Columbia, so he's kind of the hometown hero at this point, or at this point in Columbia's history. His name is Steve Ray Ladson, and
Okay.
yeah, I think he was runner up on America's Got Talent recently. But
Wow. Okay.
he's a great singer, great bass player. And he plays banjo. I mean,
Okay.
he's doing a lot of good for himself right now. And but I've always seen him around and just kind of been like, I want to play with him. I think I saw
Yeah.
a cover he did with a guy named Terrence Young, who lives around here as well. He's kind of a staple of Columbia as well. Terrence Young, he does a lot of like guitar forward. Um, he does like guitar renditions instead of singing. He'll be playing the guitar for the melodies,
Mm.
um, uh, around here. But also a good singer.
Okay.
But I saw him and Steve Ray Ladson do a cover of Prince's "Adore."
Okay.
Just like, all right, that's awesome. So yeah, I would love to play with them as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Very cool.
yeah.
And who are you listening to right now? Like when you listen to other music, either streaming, CD, album. What are some of your favorite albums or artists to kind of dig into when you just chill and have some downtime?
Hmm. And that's a tough one because yeah, not much contemporary right now. Um,
Do you listen to a lot of just mostly like throwback retro music or a lot of newer stuff? Or
man, I don't listen to a lot.
okay, okay,
I try to. Right now, what I listen to a lot is live performances from Prince, from
yeah,
uh, uh, Michael Jackson, uh,
okay,
James Brown. I just love watching them, and
yeah,
I think it just goes back to like, what do you love watching? And now with doom scrolling, I can see way too many.
yeah,
you know, and there's a lot of really good players out there too. So I'm mostly just watching new players
yeah,
playing old songs that I really love,
yeah.
and some of them I've gotten to play with. So I like to cheer them on. Um, there's a guy named Domo who plays the keys. He played in one of in my last showcase for me, and I mean he's such a man. He can play. He plays
Okay.
bass. I mean he plays bass like it's his first instrument, but it's his second. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys. He's
He's
incredible.
that good.
He's incredible. And I love bass, so for me, it's like uh, a real treat for him to play keys as well. Because I mean,
Awesome.
ooh, he just holds it down.
Awesome.
But yeah, as far as like who I listen to nowadays, man, man, I gotta take out my Spotify. Yeah, it's tough. I listen to a lot of Larry Graham, listen to Bootsy, a lot of Prince, Shaka Khan. Um,
Okay. Do you still go back to a lot of the old punk rock music and
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes.
any of the early '80s stuff?
Sometimes I do, but
Yeah.
it's usually for like a because here's the thing too is I love punk music, but I also don't like the message sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like we talked about this briefly, but you know what you listen to, it's it's a mantra. You know, it becomes your thoughts.
Yeah.
So
You're feeding yourself. Yeah.
yeah, so there's very few punk bands that I can listen to that are not gonna make me upset. Yeah, because it is it's there's a lot of anger, um, and it comes with having a backbeat, you know, a double or a halftime beat. You know, it's the urgency, it's the aggressiveness.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been trying to be less aggressive in my nature, just in general, and just try to be a little bit more cool. So, I mean, aren't we all? But
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, because with all that's going on in the world, you can't
Yeah.
be too reactive at everything, or else you're just gonna explode. So, um, but yeah, I wouldn't say I listen to a lot of the punk music anymore. I have a huge respect, and it keeps getting bigger for Bad Brains. You know, Bad Bra- they're incredible first hardcore band. I mean,
Legendary. Yeah.
I just read some, or I just saw something and I didn't know this because I didn't really follow them too much. I had one of their shirts, I had their album, but I didn't really like look into them that much. Like I was just like, yeah, this is awesome because I didn't realize how important they were to punk
Hmm.
music and how they invented the word mosh pit. Like that's insane to me. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very influential, man. Yeah. What would you say is your favorite top three Prince albums or Prince songs if you had to choose?
Mm.
Hard question, huh?
Yeah, that's not an easy question for
Yeah.
any Prince fan. That's a tough.
Yeah. And I know the day changes, but like today, how are you feeling as far as like maybe a song or album that you frequent the most or maybe revisit the most, maybe?
Well, I even said this on a chat recently with I think it was Funkatopia or something like that.
Hmm.
But, International Lover
Okay.
as always is is what got me into Prince.
Okay.
So I had played with some groups that was like kind of Americana for a while, and we toured uh, the country, and we had a song, and I still haven't found this song. We had a song that the lead singer would sing that was supposedly a Prince song. I still haven't found this song because there's so many songs that Prince wrote.
Hmm.
I still have not found this song. so but that curiosity is what brought me to find International Lover because I was literally looking for the song that the guy was singing because I'd never heard it before. So I was looking for it, and I still haven't found that song to this day. But in the process
Wow.
of finding, just in having so much music, I
You
was able to
stumbled across that.
find International Lover, and I was like,
Yeah.
"This is hilarious." and it's an awesome song. And there's so much to it that like that he's doing with his vocals that I was so inspired by that I just kept listening and kept listening. I fell down the rabbit hole for sure.
I'm really curious to know what that song is now. I'm
Me
sure
too.
I probably
I still
heard
haven't
it or
found it.
have it.
I still haven't found it. I don't even know if
Wow.
it's real. I don't even know if it's real. He could have been making that up because he knows there's so many songs. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Um,
Yeah. Is there any other additional ones that's kind of stand out as one that you visit or play quite often?
um, yeah.
They just released their Around the World in a Day Deluxe Edition. Did you get into that album a little bit or
Not the deluxe version. I haven't listened to it yet.
yeah, just the album itself though.
Oh yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, some
Um,
really good stuff on there too as well.
yeah. Raspberry Beret was
Yeah.
a huge one. Um, what is that called? I know. It's the one that was it. Cyndi Lauper also did
When You Were Mine.
"When You Were Mine." Yes.
Hmm.
Thank you. I couldn't
Yeah.
remember. Now that I'm on camera, I can't remember anything.
Yeah, When You
But
Were Mine. Yeah, when you said Cyndi Lauper, I knew exactly which one that is.
I just love that song. I think it was the
Yeah.
Montreux version he did. That was like when I heard him do this one little thing. I was like, I don't know what that is, but he was like, and I was like, oh, I'm sold.
Give us some more, man. Let's hear it.
Nah, man.
No.
No,
That was hidden right there, man.
I'm not plugged in, man. I'm not.
Okay. Okay, cool, man. Give us a little snippet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can give you more bass because you can actually hear that a little bit.
Okay, what you got there? That's a nice one too.
There you go. Larry Grove.
Yeah. A little bit of funk and slap right there. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Little 10-minute snippet there, 10-second snippet there.
10 seconds is your currency. Yeah,
There it is. We don't want to give them too much because we want y'all to go get the music and listen to the music. So go
exactly.
check out the music, and then
Yeah,
go to the shows because I know also you do a lot of playing within your area too as well. If you don't mind name dropping some of the acts and things, you're always posting stuff that you're playing with people. Who are some of the musicians and the artists that you do play with around the area?
yeah. Sometimes I'll play with a group called Love Sounds.
Okay,
So I'll play lead for them. They're a great group. We do a lot of the old school funk, a lot of neo soul too. And then I play with another group called AP and Soulful Touch. Uh, the style is a little bit more jazzy, so it's funk based, but it has more of a jazz structure.
okay,
Where we got solos, and it usually has incorporates people on horns, uh, and it's more of like an artistry band. And then for my own thing, when I do showcases, I just like to pull my favorite players together, and because it's gonna be energetic, it's gonna be explosive,
yeah.
and I come to energize. And I just love performing, and I love jamming too. So if I can do those things together, it's just gonna be unforgettable.
Heard that. That's the happy place right there, man. That space.
Yeah, and every time I get on stage, it's such a special moment for me, and I hope that that comes out, because
Yeah,
it's it's rare, just in general. You think about how many hours are in the day, you think about how many hours you play per week, and how often you get to be on stage. It's like, man, to me, it feels so rare because I just love doing it so much. So
yeah,
so I'm just always waiting for the next chance I get.
absolutely. And that's part of the reason why well, big reason why I do this show, not only because, the major artists, and the artists that inspired us
Yeah.
as creators as well, but for artists like yourself and myself who are more so on the independent side, we were more so, within our communities, in our cities, in our state. We're working on projects on our own and doing them, within our window. how we want to do it, without no one really programming and telling us what we can do with this, like you mentioned earlier with the single, this single needs to go first, or you need to do it this way. We kind of have that where we can kind of guide our destination. So I love the fact that I'm able to communicate with independent artists, artists that are, loving it as much as us, performing as and loving it as much as us. But a lot of people just don't know. So I want people to know that they go see some of these local artists and support these local and independent artists, because they are just as good, if not some of them are even better than people that have been in the business, a long time. And they're very talented, multi-talented, great singers, great multi-musicians. I've seen so many and played with so many, and even like yourself, that I've just met in circles and eventually just started working with. And they're put it bluntly, they're fucking dope.
Well, I appreciate being in that circle of
Yeah,
people.
man, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, for those that don't know, well, they don't know, but yeah, Chris and I, we've been talking for a little bit of time. He sent me some stuff over, and it's amazing. And we're looking forward to eventually finalizing some stuff down too, so we can kind of get together and give y'all some of that stank.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I'm
Yeah,
glad I was able to send over some of those tracks to you, just
yeah. Thank
the
you.
ones that that I'm planning on releasing to upcoming. And yeah, I noticed we didn't talk about the latest EP and the latest release either, but I have a new the latest EP is called "Take Me to Your Room."
Okay.
One's that one's got some I would say almost 90s esque sort of funk, if you could put it that way.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know if you had a chance to listen to that one.
yeah. I did. I actually did.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually had a chance to sit down and listen to a lot of stuff, man. Just kind of get into what you were doing. So yeah, I'm totally impressed and feeling it, man. I'm loving it. Like I say, even the stuff that you sent earlier this morning, just amazing. I'm listening to that bass, everything that you type. I hear the bass up front, in the mixes and things like that. So yeah, I'm feeling it out, man. I'm like, okay, I know he likes, certain things in a certain way. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, amazing stuff, man. So, Chris, man, you're my brother, it's been an honor and a pleasure. I appreciate you to the fullest, man, stopping by, talking a little bit about your career and the album Let's Rock and all the great singles that have come off that album so far within the last year, and then the current project as well, that the current EP that's out as well. You guys go support him, buy his music, stream the music, and then if you don't mind, Chris, let my viewers know where they can find your music and your Instagram or Facebook handles if you have.
Yeah. Best place is Bandcamp right now, but Let's Rock and Bust and Groove and My Scotalight are all on Spotify, all the other streaming platforms. But if you really want to support me, Bandcamp is the way to do it. It's the easiest way to directly give me your support, and then to have something physical that you can actually get. And you can buy the vinyl version of Let's Rock as well, or the CD. So that's available through Bandcamp too. And then Chris Calzone Music on Instagram and Facebook, and then TikTok. I think it's the same.
Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, you guys look out for him. Chris Calzone, he's on the move, giving us some great funk, some great music. Man, thank
Yeah,
you so much for coming through.
no, it's
Multi-instrumentalist, producer, performer, arranger, artist, Chris Calzone is in the house. Thank you so much, my brother.
dude. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you.